Anyway, I saw Moneyball and I said, you sign me up. We don't have to be here all day. What do I look like turning down money? You know how I feel about currency. You know how I feel about money. Welcome back to this channel. It's your resident internet comedian, spiritual advisor, Mystic Rain. And honestly, guys, today, I didn't want nothing. I just wanted to chit chat. Well, first, I missed you guys. And I had wanted to record some content this week, but I didn't have the energy in me, but I also wanted to talk to you. So I just figured I'm just going to talk. This video really ain't about nothing. It's just my way of connecting with you all. But the reason why, I just haven't been able to really get to it is just because I'm exhausted. And the reason why I'm exhausted is because I have done my first Reiki attunement. And so I'm now a Reiki practitioner. But I did my first, my level 1 attunement. And when I tell you I'm going through it, they say that it affects everybody differently. And I mean, to say that my body needs rest right now is a complete understatement. I figured that I wanted to talk to you guys about my experience with it, because when I was trying to find other people on the internet that had my kind of symptoms, it was difficult to find. Now, I did find a couple of videos, but it took a lot of digging to get there. And so I figured that, okay, well, I'll share my experience too, just in case someone's going through the same thing, wanted to do it, wanted to get Reiki attuned, but didn't know the process or things like that. Or I mean the symptoms, not the process, the symptoms of being attuned. The process of being attuned is to find a Reiki master teacher who would attune you, right? Meaning that that person would be willing to channel the energy and then give it to you, I guess is a good way of explaining it. Listen, if there's any Reiki master teachers here who have a much better way of explaining it the way I just did, feel free to drop the explanation in the comments for other people. Let's help each other out, okay? But for me, my symptoms are I am so tired. I'm sneezing a lot. I'm a lot of sneezing, a lot of runny noses, but I am exhausted and I just can't get moving. So it just didn't work out for me. But what I realized though in the process was, for those of you that are interested in, I just saw a spider web, getting a Reiki healing session, or even those of you that have thought about, actually, maybe I want to be a Reiki practitioner or a Reiki master teacher myself. Maybe I want to go through the attunement process. What I'm realizing is that, you really have to trust the person that's doing it for you. So fortunately for me, I feel like I trust the person that did my attunement. It's also the same person that did Reiki healing sessions for me as well. But part of the transferring of the energy is, it's impossible not to get a tiny bit of the energy of the person that's actually doing it to you. And if that person doesn't have good intentions or a good spirit and they're doing it on you, I don't think I would really recommend that. So really pay attention to who you're getting your healings from. Make sure you trust that person, that you've done your own kind of vetting, that you've asked the questions that you were curious about, because people really be out here who be whole Reiki master teachers and they just don't be good people. So be really mindful of that. And I'm mindful of that, just extra at the moment due to my energy flowing and just being hypersensitive right now, where I'm thinking to myself, good God, what if my master teacher was not a good person? It wouldn't feel very good right now for me, right? And then I also was watching this video here on YouTube because I was trying to figure out if anyone had similar symptoms like me. And I ended up stumbling on this video of this woman who were talking about her symptoms. They were similar. So I was vibing with the video. I was vibing with the woman. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, she seems cool. And then she was talking about how she's just a different kind of Reiki practitioner, which didn't bother me because I was like, oh, okay, cool, innovation. And then she goes, Reiki is so good. She said something along the lines of, Reiki is so good. You know, people say that you can align your chakras with it. But me, I don't have chakras because I ripped them out. They weren't doing it for me, so I ripped out my chakras. Okay. That was, for me, I needed to receive it, right? Because I like to think that I'm fairly open-minded, but when I heard that, it really threw me off. And what I thought to myself was, now, what would have happened if I went to that person for a session and that person didn't disclose that information, that they ripped out their chakras? I don't think I would have been really comfortable with that. And so, like, that got me thinking, like, you guys really better be asking the people that are doing these sessions for you, like, what are you, right? What are you? What's your ideology? Ask these people, like, how did they come into Reiki? Do they have any personal opinions about Reiki? How do they practice Reiki that's different than how most people practice Reiki, if at all? Like, start asking your practitioners questions. Even with like your readers, like, start vetting your people, including vetting me, right? Like, if you're going to a medium because you want to talk to your deceased grandmother, don't hesitate to ask these people, hey, who are you getting your information from? Who are you talking to right now? Who can you see right now? Who's in the room right now? Right? The person should be able to tell you where they're getting their information from. Whether or not they're getting their information from like spirit, and if it is spirit, what kind of spirit, they should be able to tell you that. Is it a guide? Is it an ancestor? Are they pulling the information from the collective consciousness? They should be able to tell you where they're getting their information from. If someone hits you with the humana, 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 and it's not that if they hit you with the humana that they're a bad person. They may just not have taken the time to really sit down to figure out where they're getting their information from, which is fine because everyone has their own pace and journey, but that probably shouldn't be somebody that you would allow to give you information on account of the fact that like where is it being channeled from? Who, you know what? Do you feel what I'm saying? Like, let's be clear is what I'm really trying to get at here. Like, let's be clear when it comes to where the information is coming from, and like, ask them those questions. Right? If you have like a teacher that you're working with, you can ask your teacher, well, what's your opinion on where I should be getting my answers from? Right? What do you think about this? What do you think about that? Right? But don't feel like it needs to be like some kind of secret or anything like that, or like, no, I mean, I understand that we're like mystics and whatever, but like, come on now. Like, we can some of these things can be written down. I today went to a gym show. By the way, for any of you guys, because I'm starting to realize that I actually have a decent amount of Atlanta folks that are over here. If you watch this video when the video goes up, there's actually a gym show that's in town that I actually went to today. But it's going to be in town for 2 more days, and it's being held at the Gas South Convention Center and in Duluth. And so if you want to go, it's like an $8 entry free, but it's all the wholesale crystal vendors, right? So if you guys are interested in that, you should go. By the way, you want to see my goodies? Because I have them here. And I have them here because I was about to sage them. Why am I about to sage them? To cleanse them. Why am I cleansing them? Because they went through a lot in order to get to me, right? We have, first, they have to come out of a mind somewhere. And just because they come out of a mine doesn't mean the mine is in the United States. It could be in China or something. So it's being dug out of the ground. We don't know who's touching it. Then it's being transported. It's being shipped, right? By the time it goes through all of that, it's time to kind of re-up. It needs some help, right? But I wanted to show you guys what I got, just because in the spirit of, I mean, I'm already over here. So one thing I thought that was really cool, I got this thing. Now, it spoke to me. It called at me. And it was on sale, so that could have been part of the reason why. But it's like a piece of jade. And not only is it's something, it's called like a money ball. Okay, I took a photo of what it meant. Hand carved money ball. This ball is carved from a single piece of jade. It has separate and freely moving layers, dragon and phoenix carved on the first layer. Each layer stands for a generation. Just like an extended family, it can bless people with happiness and prosperity. There are 12 poles on each layer, symbolizing 12 months, so that family will be blessed with the happiness, harmony, and good luck throughout the year. Chinese Yuan green jade, which when I asked the vendor, she said it's just the region of China that it came out of. And so I thought it was really cool because when you look at it, like the balls are just all stuck in there. You see? So there's this ball, and then there's another ball inside that one. don't know if you can see like the shadow. But anyway, I saw a money ball and I said, you sign me up. We don't have to be here all day. What do I look like turning down money? You know how I feel about currency. You know how I feel about money. And then this is also part of a Chinese newspaper that they wrapped it up in. So that, if you find that interesting. Show and tell, right? I also got, it is a jade frog. Oh, you can't see. It's a jade frog. It's got a coin in its mouth. There was an explanation for this too that drew me in. Okay, so it's called a money frog. I'll show you the coin. And it is the money frog, better known as the three-legged toad. It has got 3 legs? It sure do only got 3 legs. Okay. First 2. And then that's a leg, and then like that's a little nubbin. Better known as a 3-legged toad, is a popular Chinese symbol that is used to attract wealth and prosperity. In Chinese folklore, the legendary 3-legged toad is thought to have the ability to produce gold and silver coins from its mouth. The money frog can be placed in your home, office, and in place of work. It's generally recommended to have the money frog facing the door. So I guess so it can bring it in to you. Wow, isn't that nice? Now this one I paid $48 for, which, I mean, this, I'm not gonna lie to you. I saw this one, I saw $48 and I was like, are you joking? And so I put it down, tried to walk away, and I was like, but girl, you can't go yell at everybody on the internet about walking past things of currency and then like walk past currency. And then I had a whole speech of it takes money to make money and scared money don't make no money. And bitch better give me my money. And then here we are. It was on sale though. So $48 from $88. It was on sale. I mean, I don't know. Hey, it's gonna work, right? So I got my money frog and then I got my money ball. And I'm gonna bless these things. We're gonna stage these things, and they're gonna take me into the new year. And these are going to go in the front of my home office. I actually may put a little altar right outside the front door of my home office, and then do that because my home office is actually by the front door of my house, and so I may put it there because I think it's a good place to put it. Like generations, come on now, come on now, come on now. Then I got the rest of these things were little trinkets that I got from the gem show today. Just little trinkets because I thought they were cute. That's all, and they weren't that expensive. It's like a couple of bucks here and there. But this one was like a little cute little pearl, like freshwater pearl bracelet. It was a couple of bucks. I thought it was cute. They were really nice to me. And you know when vendors start being nice to you, you start putting things in the basket. So, and then I ended up with these, which weren't that bad in price either. I think maybe they were like $6. And so they're just different like crystal bracelets. So we have this one, which is a protection bracelet. It has it's protection and grounding. And then it has onyx, tiger's eye, and then hematite. So for those of you that just don't know, because I just realized I'm saying it and thinking that you know what I'm talking about, but you may not. So the brown ones, let me put a bit like a better. So the brown ones, that's a tiger's eye. The black ones, that's an onyx, and then these little silver ones here are hematite. So this is a grounding and a protection bracelet. And this bracelet has no energy pulsing through it right now. I mean, it does, but I could tell that it's somewhat dead because it's gone through a lot in terms of processing. For example, you get the tiger's eye out of a mine, but then to get it down to a bead, to get it this size, think about the amount of processing that's happening to these things, happening to the crystals, that it may need a little bit of help. It's like jump starting a car, right? In the winter, right? Sometimes it needs a little bit of help to get it going. And so we're gonna do some saging. I'll do some prayer over it. Now we've got Burma jade. I asked the difference between the jade because some of it was like imperial jade and some of it was like Burma jade, and apparently that's just the location. So it's just from Burma. I'm not all the way sure what it is supposed to be, but I just assumed that it had to do with money considering the other stuff had to do with money. So I was like, give me one of those. We've got a howlite here. Now, for those of you that don't know, A lot of turquoise that you see in the store that looks like it's a good price probably isn't turquoise. A lot of turquoise is typically howlite that's dyed blue. Howlite is this color, right? And so you see, because it has the veining in it, it has all the veining, it's easy to dye it blue and then keep the veining, and then so it'll look like turquoise. And so just letting you know, keep that in mind. And then we also got a lapis lazuli because I was spending money. So let's look up, because I can't remember off the top of my head. So one link says that howlite is a good stone for patience and perspective, for those who feel they need to slow it down, absorb and clear the constant stream of chatter from the mind. It is a crystal that marries you to a more mindful way of life. Another one says this stone is an excellent absorber of stress and tension. And then another definition in a different website says howlite is a magical crystal that may help you relax and unwind when you're feeling stressed. It can reduce or eliminate your rage, aggression, and irrational. It's loading. We're going to go with thoughts. I feel like that's safe, right? Which is really interesting because I've always said this thing that if you're looking about getting a crystal, the best thing to do is just to go buy them and then come home and look it up, because a lot of times you end up being drawn to the one that you needed at that time versus thinking that you should have a certain kind and then going to go get that one. And so recently I have been very stressed out with a very loud mind recently. There's just a lot of things going on in my life. I'm trying to balance my life as Mystic Rain and how that is growing, in addition to trying to balance this mogul life that I'm transitioning out of. And so that is difficult because it's having at the moment 2 jobs, right? And so it's a good thing. I'm grateful for it, grateful for all the opportunities, but I am one person and my cup is only so full, right? So I actually have been really just running dry recently. So that's a really good one. I like to hear that one because funny enough, outside of the jade, because you say money to me, when I tell you everything mentally gets dropped, I'm all ears. I'm here. I am with you, right? But this one was the other one that I was very drawn to. Now let's look up this lapis lazuli. Lapis lazuli. One website says this is the oldest spiritual stone known to man, used by healers, priests, and royalty for power, wisdom, and to stimulate psychic abilities. And then another one says has been associated with royalty, strength, courage, wisdom, and intellect, friendship, and truth. Another one says it's a stone of spiritual enlightenment, inner vision, and self-awareness. So I'm just going to trust that these are what I needed. And this is just a friend. They were nice to me. They were nice to me and I walked away with it, okay? By the way, guys, how is that energy going for you guys? Because I know there's a lot of change energy happening in the collective right now. And it's not just you. There's a decent amount of generational planets that are moving and transiting right now, that are moving out of like major areas, going into new major areas, right? We've got some things moving out of Capricorn. So our area of structure, institution, and it moving into Aquarius, which is a sign of rebellion, right? So just like in the cosmos in general, come on, man. There's just a lot going on, and it's a collective thing, right? And so I suspect that for those of you that are desiring change, it's probably getting a little intense now, but that's okay. You got it. So by the way, someone asked me, like, how do you cleanse? You get your smoke like this? You could do some of these. Someone said, how long do you do it for? Till you feel like stopping, girl. What do you want to say? Till your arm gets tired and you want to put it down. Like, let's not take ourselves too seriously. Half of us are talking to aliens. You know what I mean? Like, just have fun with it. One thing I tell you about a fresh sage is that these things don't like to light. I mean, I guess that's a good thing. I guess the house is clean. The podcast, somebody asked me about the podcast. Oh my God, where'd it go? It actually went nowhere. I'm just one person and I'm tired. And I'm also trying to figure out how to revamp that. Oh, somebody else asked said that they would like to collab with me. I'm open to ideas. If that's what you're feeling like, shoot me an email. My email is in the description box. Okay. So if you feel like you want to collab, let me know. And if it's like spiritual related things, you know what I mean? Or money related things, I'll take those too. Now I can't promise that like it'll be yes, but I am open and I can promise that I'll read it. We can see, we can take it from there. Yeah. I also, what else did I get? I got this new deck in the mail. I'm just talking. We're just hanging out, man. I got this new deck. Prime use. It's a deck with a Korean theme. I don't know if that means that it's from like a Korean company or a Korean artist, or if it's just a Korean theme. I'm actually not sure. I was looking, but I couldn't really figure it out. For those of you that don't know, my man, he's Korean. Thank you to my man, right? And so I'm I think it's a Korean creator because they've got Korean support in their card. And so, but because of that, I'd be learning about Korean culture and language, and I'd be all up in the food. This was on sale, Mancini. I'm gonna have to ask him how to pronounce it. Matter of fact, let me just ask him now, honey. Yeah. And it's an oracle deck. I ordered 3 of them. I ordered 3 different decks. An oracle deck, a tarot. I think I ordered 2 oracle decks and 2 tarot decks. And the reason why is because on Amazon they sell them, but they're typically really expensive. Like the decks be like over $60, and then because of Black Friday, they were reduced. Like one deck was $16, and another one was like $24. And so I was like, oh my god, voice memo. Yobo, how do I pronounce this? I'm gonna open it. Oh my god, this is like my beginning YouTube days where I used to do unboxings and I used to buy tarot decks and then I used to unbox them for YouTube, and it was so cool because no one ever watched them. Oh, how we've evolved. Did it go through? Okay. Whose time is that? Okay. So this is the front. This is the side. Can't read it to you. Couldn't read it to you. Let's look at the book. So some of you are like, girl, I don't want to look at the book. Can you get to it? I just want to see if it's in both. It is. I just wanted to see if it was in both languages. And it is. That's it. That's all I wanted to tell you. So for those of you that got impatient, that fast forward this video, okay. Oh, wow. Can you see the sheen? It's got sheen on it. Oh, I mean, honestly, it doesn't even look like the camera is just not picking it up the way it is. Oh my god, I just now saw this. So for the gym show, listen, you get a bracelet, an entry bracelet, right? And look how cute this was. You are the gift. Honestly, if we're not manifesting for 2024, then what are we doing? Okay, Supreme Goddess. We'll just do a couple. Should we do a reading? Let's just pull a card. I don't know what I mean. Should we pull 1 card, 2 cards, 3 cards? We're just gonna go for it. Let's see what comes out. What's our intention? What do we need to know? What do we need to know prior to the new year? No, I don't know when you're gonna get to the video. This won't be timeless if we do that. Let's just do, what do we need to know? What do we need to know? This is a nice deck. Oh, I understand why it's officially $60. The sheen on this thing. And you can't even see. I mean, you can see it a little bit. But in person, it is very different. And it's so intricate. Whoa. Rice planting. Let's see what that means. Rice planting. Farmers are planting rice plants with hope during tough labor. They are smiling, dreaming of the present year's good harvest. This was the most important event in the days when farming was the foundation of everything in people's lives. Even though the beginning is tough, you cannot stop because the result is already waiting for you. Checking the consequence immediately would be impossible, but believing yourself is the most important thing. You reap what you sow, the starting point and the steps of getting to know. You have your own plan. That's really interesting, particularly because the energy that's in the collective right now is burnt out isn't necessarily the right answer, but I feel people gassing out. There's like this feeling of people starting to run out of steam, like, or run out of a little bit of hope, or running out of a little bit of optimism. This feeling of like, I know this thing is for me, or this new life is for me, or this change is for me, but it's taking so long and I can't really figure it out. So there's this feeling of kind of like gassing out a little bit. So I think that was good. Let's do one more because that was fun. And the camera isn't really picking it up, but there's like a little, oh, there it is. You can see there's a little sheen on it. Like, that's nice. Okay, so this one says, praying before pure water offering. Okay, praying before pure water offering. A woman is praying before a freshly drawn, okay, give me a minute because it's translated from Korean. And so the translations aren't all the way there. They're not perfect. So give me a minute for my brain to then translate the translation, okay? A woman is praying before a freshly drawn well of water that she drew at dawn. Okay, so this is a well of water. She drew the water at dawn, so it's fresh water. Okay. It was not a special event to see our mothers wishing for the health and luck of their families in the past, but a daily life. The power of freshly drawn water, which cleans everything during the calm time, can be felt. There is extraordinariness between a mediocrity. Okay, hold on. Give me a minute. There's a moment of extraordinary between mediocrity. Everything will be made with sincerity, so it does not fit the formality, but is related to emotional things. You have to do your job whether others recognize it or not. The result may come out a little late, but something reasonable is waiting for you. Purity is required. A murky person or work does not fit. You will have little possibility of doing noisy work. Yo, boy, what does this mean? Like, I actually find these cards really beautiful. I do need to do some work with my Korean language skills. I'm not going to hold you on that one. But they're really beautiful. And I think some of them, like in situations like this where I don't fully understand what they're trying to say, one, I'm going to have to ask somebody. But two, I think these are the type of ones that, like, you can just rely on your intuition to start kicking in. Because they're really pretty. Like, we've got a night traveler. That's cute. We've got an exotic god. We've got the fox with 9 tails, which is a very, is it the word archetype is what I'm looking for? But this is a very sort of like popular folktale in Korean culture. There's a lot of movies that get made about it. There's a lot of TV shows that are made about it. Yeah. So that's really interesting. Secret love affair. Oh. 8 lady fairies. Some of them I'm gonna have to do my intuition with, but like some of these I could tell these are like folklore type things. Ooh, like what does this mean? The Bachelorette Ghost? The Bachelorette Ghost. It is said that a single woman who reached a marriageable age becomes a bachelorette ghost after her death. The painting of the card is part of the legend of Arang. She appears repeatedly in front of a district magistrate to explain her grudge, but he seems to refuse to listen. People and ghosts have a lot of difficulties in communication, and there's always differences in the ways to resolve the grudge. Unrequited love or emotion. Even though it is not your responsibility, there are wheels within wheels. A secret pain, the problem can be solved in a much easier way than you think, but you cannot find it out. Finding the cause will take longer or forever. Your physical and mental health will become worsened. And then we got a dragon. And then we got a tiger. I'm gonna like these. These are gonna be fun. But anyway, that's enough of my rambling for the day. Thank you for hanging out with me. I'm gonna go eat Chipotle in the bed. And go let my body rest from all of this attunement.